Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Coffee and Cigarettes because this just won't die. It refuses to die just like me. Hey, what's up, old Harry's place? That's you, Harry, isn't it? What's up, T? What's up, Albus? I know Random's going to be in here soon. For all you guys in the Horde, thank you for coming. There are links in the description to their channel. I would very much like you guys to sub to these guys, but why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
All right, I guess I'll go first because I guess Harrison might be gone for a second there.
Okay.
So yeah, I am Gilbert. I am the host slash. It's a long, very long, complicated story, but I'm like one of the founders of the Fulcrum Entertainment channel, and yeah, we've just been doing this for a while now. We make all kinds of different content. And it's just like all Star Wars, Marvel, DC. We talked about the Wednesday TV show at one point. It's just basically whatever is pop culture, whatever people are talking about, whatever people want to are watching. We're talking about, with a few exceptions. But yeah, that's basically just that's us. I want to give Harrison his time to kind of explain what he does on the channel. But yeah, no, we just make all kinds of different different
Yeah.
content.
It looks like Harry's having some technical difficulty.
Oh, no,
there he is. There he is. He's back. I was OBS camera for the first hour I was in this stream.
Can't seem to hear you, Harrison.
Just
that, I just there
that's
he is.
I'm new to the mic. That is why. So that's my bad.
There we go. But yeah,
all right. Yeah.
I'll let Harrison go ahead and take it from here.
Yeah. So I am not a founding member of Fulcrum Entertainment. I was a guy who was lucky enough to appear in one of Gilbert's amazing audio comics over on Star Wars comics, Star Wars audio comics.
Yeah, Star Wars audio comics.
Star Wars audio comics.
That's where we all met.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was real good playing Emperor Palpatine or Chancellor as he was in that comic. And yeah, I just kept on showing up to that podcast and made real good friends, and yeah, was lucky enough to stick around on the channel. And then a while back, like during all the lockdowns and everything, I started making unofficial audiobooks. So that I read through a book. It's mostly just because I love reading out loud and doing voices, and then we get to have conversations with cool people in the comments. That's been real nice.
Han Solo says hi to everybody. This is my good friend Albus. He's a great supporter. He's actually a fan of your guys' channel now. I know he's been around a little bit, and I know that my one of my Horde members, T, joined you guys too. Because the more I talk you guys up a lot, I share like a lot of your streams when I can, and I kind of push you guys around a little bit just to bring more traffic your way. Even though I don't have a heavy influence right now, I try.
We appreciate it, man. It all feeds the algorithm, and that's all we're doing here on YouTube, feeding that algorithm.
Yeah, I actually have that ticker down at the bottom. It does say like, subscribe, and share to help the channel kick that algorithm and the ding dong. Ding dong is sort of a thing that we got going on in the chat. It's ridiculous. We don't want to get into that, but that was actually really interesting because I would have just assumed, as far as Harrison is, that you were just possibly a founding member, and then Gilbert, I had no idea you were that into voice acting like that.
So
we should talk more about that, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, I as far as voice acting, I'm more of the editor on that end. Like, so yeah, as Harrison said, we started up on Star Wars audio comics, which was at first it was called Crate Dragon Films, but they changed the name somewhat halfway through there because the algorithm, as we've all talked about, like no one knows what a crate dragon is these days. At least very few do. So
to the point where I think it was on like the first episode or something, and Sebastian, an old host, was like, and what's that animal called? Because I was talking about the noise that Obi-Wan makes in episode 4, and I just didn't know. I was like, I don't know, man. It's a weird siren.
Yeah. They changed it to Star Wars audio comics, but anyway, at some point, like we started the podcast on there. Like it was me, Harrison, Sebastian, the other founding member of Fulcrum Entertainment, and then Marshall. He was which you saw him in the chat yesterday for my game stream.
Okay.
So those were the original 4 of us who did the podcast. And sometimes it would be like, any mixture of those. Like sometimes I wouldn't be able to be on, or Harrison wouldn't be able to. Maybe Marshall would. It was just kind of like it would be any mixture of those 4 of us 4 people. And occasionally we'd have friends like that.
You
What's up?
guys are Star Wars audio comics, basically?
No,
Yes. I mean,
mm,
basically.
I was one of the. All right, so I kind of
This
technically
is
still am one of
blowing my
their.
mind.
I technically still am one of their channel managers. I still have access to that channel, but I haven't done anything with it for a while, and I haven't edited a video for that for the guy Daniel who actually owns the channel. I haven't done anything for him for a good minute. I still technically, and I still also have access to the Twitter channel, to the Twitter account for that. So technically, I'm Star Wars Audio, but I'm like, I focus a lot more on Fulcrum Entertainment.
You guys, okay, first of all, that's blowing my mind. I had no idea. I saw it in your featured channels. And they actually, that channel discouraged me. And I removed every Star Wars comic I had ever done. Like I did up to 10 issues in the Marvel series, the Marvels run. I think it was 2017 run. And it was the first audio comics I ever did. So I was still learning the process, and the pacing is a lot different than doing animation or movie sound effects. It's a lot different. So I failed miserably, basically. Let's just put it that way. The voice effects were great. I had my Darth Vader and my C-3PO effects, and everything sounded great. But then I went and was like, after I made those, I saw Star Wars audio comics. So I clicked on it and watched a bunch of them and went, I quit. I'm done. I'm not doing any more Star Wars comics. These guys are fantastic. I've been subbed to that for a while. I had no idea that was you guys. I didn't make the connection because it's been years since I've actually been back to that channel. So, oh wow.
Again, to be fair, that's a big team of people. Like me and Harrison. Like Harrison's a voice actor, and he's been in quite a few of them. Like any project that I've edited that says like project mixed by Gilbert something, anything that's been edited by me probably has Harrison in it in some way, shape, or form. Because I always like hearing his voice. Same thing for Marshall, same thing for Sebastian. I oftentimes, and myself as well. Every now and then you'll hear like just like 2 or 3 lines from like a side character that ends up getting killed off, and it's me.
Guys,
yeah.
I'm so excited. If you could see my face right now, I'm smiling to the point where my headphones are hurting my ears. Like I'm just grinning like, you guys, I had no idea. I already love the Fulcrum channel. Now you're just blowing my mind. So you're an editor, you're an audio editor, and I guess video editor.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I did the last Ronin. I was just like, you know what? I like doing audio comics. I'm good at it. I've done all these other things for Star Wars audio comics. Let's just put an audio comic together. And I made the last Ronin. So I'm like, and that's because of my brother. If it hadn't been for my younger brother being like, dude, you need to read this comic, I would never have thought to do that, because oh my god, that's an awesome comic. I love that so much.
I mean, I didn't even read it just because the story sounded so DC to me, and then I was like, I finally watched yours and was like, oh, I should have read this, but this was much better than reading it. I promise you that. Hey, Peaky, I do want to say hi to you.
So, Peaky, miss you.
Peaky.
With Harrison, I do see the guitar behind you, but I also noticed that Gilbert had mentioned you're a voice actor, which, pardon my French, fucking obviously. Let's talk about that a little bit, man. What projects have you worked with other than the Star Wars audio comics? And as far as with Gilbert, have you worked on any other projects with any other channels? What got you into this?
So other projects, there's a bunch around YouTube. I haven't been doing projects that aren't sort of like for the Fulcrum Entertainment channel for a while. It's part of the reason I started doing it was I was like, being a voice actor online can be lots of fun, but you're doing a lot of auditioning for projects that even when you're not that into them, you're like, but I might be right for this role. And then there's hundreds of other people who are auditioning and you don't get it. So I was like, you know what? I'm having the bit for me is doing voices, having fun with it. Like I said before, like reading the books out on Fulcrum Entertainment, for me, it's a bit like playing video games. Like, it's kind of a hobby that I enjoy, just the act of doing it.
Cool.
So that's why I sort of go along. But I've done a bunch. There's a channel called the Russian Comic Book Geek.
I know the Russian Comic Book Geek.
Yeah, so he does audio comics, and I haven't done anything for him in a while. But my role when I'm on that channel tends to be, you'll find like ones where, like the Thor, he's got Thor God Butcher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so in that, like, I am basically every male character that isn't Thor. So I just kind of like fill in all the extras. So which is loads of fun. I think in one of the later ones, I think it's Thor God Bomb, like a sequel to that. I get to play Tony Stark for like a tiny little bit, but it was pretty fun to do.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's really awesome.
So yeah, your Emperor or your Chancellor Palpatine in the Obi-Wan and Anakin comics, and a lot of like the Star Wars prequel stuff that they did on Star Wars audio comics. I think you're one of Jabba's goons in one of the Obi-Wan comics that we did. You are Master Splinter in the Last Ronin.
Oh yeah, I am Master Splinter.
Yes, you were.
You're also Fugitoid.
I had no idea that was you, by the way. Like, I checked the credits and went, he's doing Splinter? I was like, whoever's doing Splinter is really good. That's pretty good. And I checked, I was like, it's fucking Harrison. Of course it is. Of course it is. That guy can do any accent. Which reminded me of a funny joke. I did think of that. I was like, if we ever do collab and work together, it would be absolutely hilarious to me to have you read an American role and I do the British, just to completely swap, and then people would be so confused, like, what is happening here? Like, well, the British guy's doing the American accent and the American guy's doing the British accent. I just thought that'd be really funny to do that. Tiki did say hashtag bring back Halo Fridays. I don't think he's ever gonna let that go. That's great though, because I mean, I can't play Halo. Watching you guys play would be fantastic. As far as the guitar sitting behind you, I would like to ask you a little bit about that. Yeah, you play some music there, Harrison?
Yeah, I play a little bit. That's I've got a lot of hobbies, and the guitar is one that I've had for a long time. Not very good at it, I have to admit. And like this one is currently out of tune, so I need to tune it up, and it could do with a bit of a setup in general. But yeah, no, I've explored a lot of things back in the day. So like I've been in a couple of bands and stuff. If anyone's interested, go to Spotify or whatever music service you prefer and look up a band called Below Defect. The album's called Eagle Eye Generation. It was recorded like 12 years ago, but it's a bit of fun.
If you got time, grab a link, throw that in the chat. I'm telling you, man, the guys that are here and that will be here, I will collect these links and then put them into the description afterwards. Usually my views come after with these podcasts. Within the first week, I'll get about 100, 150 on them. So that's not bad, but I do like to go back because there's a lot I missed, obviously, or things I didn't even know. And I do feel bad about that. And then, yes, that this is Albus. I'm not going to say that on the stream out loud, but yes, do an audiobook. Dead Guardian is the one I want. Albus is one of my biggest supporters. He has been a really good friend, actually, and supports the channel beyond I could appreciate more. So I could kind of throw it out there. And he made a request that there was a audiobook or a fan fiction Harry Potter audiobook. And he was like, would you read this? And I was like, buddy, you have more than earned a personal request, my friend. I'll read it. And he's like, well, it's 1,900 pages. Like, okay, we'll do it in parts, but I'll still read it. That's a lot. That's a lot of pages, but it's happening. I read through some of the beginning, and it is actually pretty damn good.
So
I'm not gonna lie. So
I just shared a. All right, hang on, real quick. Make a collab. We will. We definitely will. I guarantee you. We're gonna our two channels are gonna definitely work together. But so I put a link in the description, or not in the description, in the chat here.
There it
is. If anyone
guys.
wants to see Harrison's guitar skills and his singing skills, go find that. I found it. If you look up, Harrison Bullman in the YouTube search bar, you can find his channel, and he'll have this. Go like, and I'm not even doing this to make fun. I'm just like, if you want to see Harrison's, singing chops, there you go.
I mean, showing that link is going to do absolutely nothing. I'm not sure why I did that, but I couldn't resist clicking. It's like attention deficit disorder. Click it. Yeah, you want to? T's going to click it, and I know other people are going to click it, and I will throw that in the description just for shits and giggles.
That is like young baby Harrison before he had the big like crazy beard.
I see the link here that I'm about to possibly share if I can. Let me throw this one in there. This is the Spotify, I assume, for your band. What is it called?
The band's called Below Defect.
Below Defect. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, we haven't been together for 10 years or something like that, but it was a lot of fun. So did it at university. I was 19 and got to record vocals on an album. It's incredibly, guys, if you're out there, if you can find a band that have already written an album's worth of music, it's easy street. You just have to turn up and sing, and that's it.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to check that out then, I promise. There's
an entire thing on his channel of acoustic covers, and I like how the Toy Boys, that was always fun. That was a fun one to watch with you and your brother.
Oh yeah. Me and my brother tried to sort of be YouTube toy reviewers for a little while. That was okay, but I am not much of an editor, and editing takes so long.
Yes. I believe Gilbs was literally saying that yesterday when someone was like, "Oh, hi Bianca, hey, myself in comics." She's also a great supporter of the channel.
Hello, Bianca.
Good to see
Um, there's a link in the description to these guys. I was talking to you guys about these. I was talking to you about these guys last night. Definitely give them a sub. There's a lot. I actually, now that we are on this subject, let's there you go, Albus. She didn't even know you could read. That's funny. He's typing. I believe that's a prerequisite for typing. I don't want to actually click on these because it kind of dawned on me that I've noticed that when we do stuff like this, if I play some of your video, I'll get a copyright strike. I've noticed that.
Yeah,
like it's starting to spread around YouTube. But basically, I want to promise you can see where I've watched and what I haven't, because I'm definitely sitting on the Book of Boba Fett. Like I'm not ready for that yet. But I've made it through Death Troopers and I made it through The Last Ronin and a lot of these streams I've been to.
I definitely see how far you go in our podcast episodes, dead guy. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, if you pay attention, these are the Mandalorian ones. Remember where I'd come in and be like,
right,
I haven't seen this one yet. I gotta go.
That's
yes.
right. You do have a point.
I
right.
still haven't watched the season finale.
Ooh.
And these are rewatches, by the way. I was there for a lot of these podcasts. These are going back and watching. That's what that is. I promise.
That's true.
But we're all creators. We don't have time to sit there for 3
hours.
You know what I mean?
Messing with you.
It's okay. Now I feel bad and I feel like an absolute jerk. I'm gonna end the stream. Bye, guys. I'm just totally kidding. I'm telling you right now, the Death Troopers is what sucked me into your channel. That was the first thing I saw. I clicked on it. I read that book. It was a really good book. I read the book and then was just blown away by listening to Harrison read through it. Like, you are 100% professional BBC broadcaster. I promise you that. Like, you should be doing this stuff for a living. And I had no idea that The Last Ronin on your channel was Gilbert until you said it yesterday, till that guy came into your stream and asked, when's the next one coming out? I know you hear it all the time, but when's part 5 coming out, or when's part 6 coming out? And you were like, look, I'm having issues with the voice acting, getting the lines in and the editing. All this takes time. And instantly I'm getting like triggered. I'm like, oh God, I know. I feel his pain. I know exactly what he goes through. Like, this can take months sometimes, guys, on a big project. It takes time. You're working with other people's schedules.
Like the Last Ronin is like, it's like 40 or some odd pages long or more. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
freaking God.
You guys definitely check this out. Like, if you guys, some of the people, my people are Star Wars fans. Not a lot of them are. My Star Wars audio comics didn't do very well. I've become the Aliens guy, which I didn't even mean to do, but now I'm the Aliens guy. But the Death Troopers book, his audio books, is his articulation, the way he reads, and his charisma as he's reading is. I'd give you an 18 out of 20 on the charisma there if we're going to go by Fallout rules. And Gilbert, your skills, man, it blew my mind because I didn't even know that was you doing most of the work behind this and all that till somebody asked about it. So that's when I was like, I'm going to go watch it right now, because I didn't know. I thought maybe you were the gamer, like doing more game content than I was wrong. And this is a good learning experience for. Hey, Hominus, what's up, buddy? You guys, all the new people, there's a link to their channel in the description. Please give these guys a subscribe. That's
an awesome name. I love that.
Hominus, he's an awesome dude, to be honest with you. I'm glad he was able to make it and at least check out some of this. And Peaky, of course, with the yes, everyone check Fulcrum, 10 out of 10. Yes, I agree, absolutely 100% Peaky. It is 10 out of 10. Obviously, I wouldn't even be talking smack and having you guys on here if I didn't think this was worth spreading around to my people. Well, I got to fill in space, and you two are just available. No, I'm totally kidding. I just want to kind of scroll down a little bit because I also noticed you guys have a lot of people in your featured, which I've slowly been subscribing to. I'm starting to see some of these guys in your streams and in the chats. I'm just real picky about who. There it is. See?
Yeah. So
I've been subscribed forever to these guys. That's just so good. So good.
So I'm gonna. All right, because the only one who's on here is Peaky, and he's at the front of that list, so it's all good. So yeah, that list of like our friends, it kind of goes how often you're on the show, but also how like good of a friend you are. Because yeah, like these are all great channels to subscribe to, but the first ones we want are the ones who are like always there for us, always our buddies. So that's like that first 5. Because any of those, any of these channels that you see right here. Yeah, these are all Salacious Rum. If you weren't subscribed to him already, dude, oh my God,
just did. I'm literally clicking the first 5 right now.
That's not even just for you. I'm talking to everyone in the chat right now. If you guys aren't subscribed to Salacious Rum, that dude is funny as hell.
Yeah, Salacious is some of my
Oh,
favorite
God.
like content. Like I love commitment to the bit is so hard with that channel. It's so good. I love it.
Oh, you're totally welcome, by the way, Hominus. It's a membership thing. If you become a member, you get a wrench. Obviously, well, not all the members get a wrench. Let's just say that. But I can trust you, good sir. I can trust you. You can't tell me what to do. No, I can't. But I can ask politely. Please click that
hell I
link and
can't.
please subscribe to these awesome gentlemen. Dude, your guys' content and your talent. The more and more I hang out with you guys, obviously, I'm trying to catch up here and there. But the more I hang out with you guys, Gilbert, you're one of my favorite gamers to hang out with. I'm not going to talk shit about it. I'm not going to lie. It's just a chill environment. Chilling with you and hanging out and gaming. You're not screaming. You're not yelling. There's no arguments going on, which is a lot of the content I see floating around, or, this, that, and the other. You guys are one of my favorite gaming channels. And then I've slowly fallen in love with your audiobooks, the audio comics. I do want to talk a little bit about where you guys are going and your plans. What future projects, if you don't mind talking about a few of them, as far as Gilbert with you, what are your future plans? Harry, what are you planning on working on once? I see that we've got the Allegiance Part 12 is done. So where are you going to go from here, man? Like, where are you guys heading? What's the plan?
I'll let you go ahead and start first, Harrison.
Have you ever heard of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis?
Yes.
So yeah. So we're gonna see what we can do. I'm slightly scared. I'll say it now. So I did an Obi-Wan. I tried doing an Obi-Wan book a while back when the show was out, but that got taken down.
You got like halfway through you got copyrighted and I think one of the whole parts or two of the parts that like he got copyrighted for. I'm not sure what even for. I'm not sure if it was for a video, for the background video you were using
for the book. I think I'm not entirely sure, but we just got a thing saying you cannot have these videos at all. And it was you either need to take them down or you get a strike. So we're like, okay, we'll take them down. We want to protect what we're doing here. Because again, these are unofficial, so if anyone says, hey, you can't do that, I'm going to take it down because I'm not trying to mess with them. I'm just trying to have a good time and share great stories with people. So I think because Plagueis is a little bit more of a modern book, I'm a little bit how is this one going to go? But I'm really hoping that it'll carry on. So I've recorded part of the first episode already. And I'm going to be trying to get that out soon. Unfortunately, I'm quite busy at the moment, so time's a little bit tight. But that is my next thing is reading Darth Plagueis. And if something happens with that, I'll find another one. I want to start looking at the sort of early days books that were following on after Return of the Jedi. So the stuff with Yu Zhongbong, and all those stories. So I think Vector Prime, is the first one of that.
That sounds extremely familiar. So yeah, it's been a long time, but yeah. I think you're right.
If I've got time, I would really love to, because there was a little period where I was able to do 2 a week, and so I had a Star Wars book, and then I had usually a Resident Evil book, to go along with it, and I love my Resident Evil, so I'd love to go back to that, but we'll have to see how that goes. What I would really like to do, and I might bring this up in our podcast later on. At some point, I would like to try doing kind of original short stories or something. I'm trying to. I've technically got a degree in creative writing, but do I use it? No. So I'm trying to plan out a couple of little stories, and I'd like to do a sort of Star Wars visions, but audio that we have on the Fulcrum Entertainment channel. That would be my goal in the future.
Okay. And I've got myself and comics in here. I'm assuming she was saying, no, I have not. Please enlighten me when you did your awesome Chancellor Palpatine. Are you familiar with the story of Darth Plagueis? Unfortunately, now she's saying, dang, no one's going to tell me the story. I guess you're just going to have to wait. Go ahead and hit that sub button.
Or the audio book.
Hit that sub button and wait for the story for the rest of us, because I haven't read that book personally. I'm dyslexic, so reading for me is an absolute chore. I'd only do it because I have to at this freaking point. You got to read menus and street signs. You know what I mean? Hey, Anon, welcome, buddy. Oh, hey, I'm glad you made it. I'm
Anon.
glad you made it. Yeah, that I guess we got people trickling in, but yeah, definitely hit that sub button. B, I'm trying to tell you, these guys actually, just not to interrupt Gilbert, because I would like to get to what you were talking about. Bianca here in Myself and Comics is my main voice actress. She's really good. If you guys have seen the more recent Alien comics that I've done, the last arc that I'm working on right now, she's the main character. So if you need, I can sort of bring you guys together, and I know that, you know, I'll let you guys talk about that if you're interested. But if you want, hop on the channel whenever you get a chance, listen to just a couple of minutes of it. I don't expect you to sit there and listen to the whole thing. But check out her talent, because she overshadows everybody. And she was the first female that I was ever to get on my channel to work with me. So my personal fans were like, oh my God, you finally got a lady to read the ladies. And I was like, well, I mean, it's not that easy when you're only got like 1,000 subs and nobody knows who you are. And I don't have the money to go on Fiverr and hail it and, you know, like hire everybody all the time. I don't have the money for that. So I've been working with her for about 8 or 9 months now on various comics. We got The Crow we're working on, which is a slow crawl. I've lost voice actors and gained voice actors and lost. So I've got to go back and re-edit all that stuff and put the new voice actors in. Gilbert, I'm sure you're absolutely familiar with what I'm talking about. So that's been a slow crawl, but we'll get there. I've got bands that have contributed music to that. It's going to be pretty cool. I've got the first 3 parts done, but it's just, yeah. Anyway, Gilbert, let us, oh yeah, I've got this. Okay. Life. Oh, I'm glad you made it to the stream. When is the last Alien arc going to be finished? I'm sitting on it right now. I was actually taking screens tonight, and I will be sending those out to my voice actors since there's only 2 left. All my characters died off too, so I've got nothing left to do but edit. But we will be done with that. I would promise I'll have it done by next month at the latest, which at the beginning of the month if that happens, but I'm shooting for a couple of weeks. So, you know, stay tuned. I'm sorry, they're a slow crawl. I work by myself, so it's kind of very difficult with the editing and things like that. Gilbert, I'm sorry for the long-winded bullshit between asking you guys what you got planned. What is your plans for the future on the channel?
All right. Well, my plans, yeah, hopefully I'm going to start. I'm going to really try to buckle down and work on Last Ronin #4 and try to get that one released. I don't have an exact date for when I'm going to get it out, but I'm going to be trying to get that out as soon as possible. And like if nothing else, I might just have to replace my female actor for the Casey Marie Jones role, because she's a great actress, but it's like, God damn, dude, I have to wait forever for her to get lines in.
That can really hinder your schedule. Like,
exactly.
I completely understand that.
So yeah, there's that. At some point, I want to try to figure out another day to get back to doing our Fulcrum what ifs, because we had a pretty good thing going every couple of weeks with those, where we did like, what if, you know, the Avengers and like the Justice League met each other? Like, what if they ended up having to fight? What if, you know, Cad Bane was the one who was cloned instead of Jango Fett? Like, we did one where what if the Empire met Xenomorphs, which, yeah, that would have been really fun to have you on and talk about that. We had our buddy Salacious, but yeah, that would have been cool to have you on, being the alien guy. Yeah, if you go
there,
it
right is. There's your what ifs. I saw the section, was like, oh, you guys got some good shit in here. You covered shit that I didn't even know you covered. That's like, oh
yeah. See, and it's just like, it was just like little ideas. Like, I think one here, I have the list over here. What if topics? Okay, so yeah, like, what if one of them, what we wanted to do was, what if Batman encountered a predator? What if Star Wars and Star Trek like crossed over? Or like, what if the Avengers lost the Battle of New York against the Chitauri? So like that kind of stuff, like just little things like that. We just make an hour-long conversation out of those kind of things. I would like to get back to doing that. The problem is that it's one thing that Harrison had to take a hiatus from the channel for a minute, and then also it's like, even before that, it was we had a hard time kind of getting people, you know, on every couple of weeks, because some people just, for some reason, I don't know, it's just some people just don't want to be on. They just don't want to be on your podcast for whatever reason.
Well, I promise you, you ever need a gap filled, I'm open, and I love you guys to death. I will never tell you no unless I'm like hurt or in the hospital. And even then, if I got a phone, I still might stream from my hospital bed. If you guys ever need anybody, just hit me up. Send me something on the Discord. I will fill in a gap. I'm chatty, obviously. I might not be too knowledgeable, but with an education, I can have opinions. Let me catch some things real quick. Albus, thank you very much for the membership gifting. I really appreciate that. Peaky, I'm glad you got one. Welcome to the Horde, brother. Welcome to the Horde. You are already part of the Discord. Other than that, you get to attend the members streams and members only. Mr. Action, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you could make it. Those of you who were able to catch a membership from Albus, be sure to say thank you. He's an awesome guy. Really appreciate it. And
dang.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man just got a membership, and that's my other account. I love it when that happens. I'm now a member to my own Horde. I love when that happens. Albus, thank you. He did it again. I really appreciate that, Albus. Thank you. Thank you.
Dang, dude, he's just gifting him left and right. Nice. That's really cool. Yeah, you do have some of the best. Like we both do. Like honestly, both of our communities are some of the best communities.
I can't lie with you there.
Like the Red 5 Network, who is also like those are pretty regular members on like the Monkey Lizard Army, the Red 5 Network. The Knights of Fulcrum, and what do you guys call yours? The Viking Horde or the Infected Horde?
No, the Chat Viking thing was a typo in somebody else's stream, and me and another buddy of mine, he'll be here in a little bit. I know he had to run up to the store or whatever. We harp on typos. When somebody typos in a chat, we will literally go for an hour making, is that an app? We'll just make fun of it all the way. So this guy went to say chat liking and put Chat Viking, and I ran with it. I was like, well, I like Chat Viking better. I literally took a troll account, made a Chat Viking, took Alexander Skarsgård's picture and put hi on it, and then literally created an account called Chat Viking. So it's just been this thing that got out of control. The memberships is called the Horde. It's obviously I'm a dead guy. I'm a zombie dude.
Horde, the Knights of Fulcrum and the Horde. Got it.
Yes. And dude, that's kind of already badass sounding when you join that together. Like that's and then the Technomancer is my music page I just started. But we don't, we're not gonna talk about that today. That's a stream by itself. Did I get the membership message? No, I'm not sure you're talking to me on that one. You might not be talking to me. But no, I didn't get any messages yet. I'm in the middle of the stream. I'm not clicking out of here. StreamYards don't catch them. So you're gonna finish up the last Ronin. What's games you planning on playing in the future here? I know you're still working on the that what is it, Dark Pictures?
Oh no, so I finished that one. All right. So yesterday's stream was bullshit because my OBS messed up. Like out of nowhere, it would just like I think it was like 2.5 hours into my stream, it froze. Like my OBS froze, and like it just wouldn't pick me up. It wouldn't look at any of my it wouldn't capture any of my footage. It just like froze, and everyone in the stream was like, "We can't see." Like it was just kind of like it looked like that for
I was there for that.
And so what I had to do is like exit out. I had to not end the stream or end the broadcast. I had to like stop streaming, close out of my OBS, open it back up, and then like restart the stream with it. Like, do you want to restart the interrupted stream? Yes. So that way I wouldn't lose that entire video. And so the problem with that is it completely deleted everything that like everyone who was already there, all the comments and everything. It was basically just like, all right, new stream, but we're all going to add on this last 2 hours that you did play. So it was a load of crap, and it happened again. So that's why I had to stop the stream and then do a whole part 2. But anyway, point of that long annoying story is that I did in fact finish the game. So what I'm going to be working on next is there is the Halo, like we could do Halo Fridays if Harrison's down for it, but also and then also if Peaky's down for it because he's been itching to play Halo 3. There's also, I was looking at doing some Devil May Cry gameplay. Okay. And then also there's a game that I find really fun called Darkest Dungeon, which I think would be a load of fun.
I love that game. I'm clapping. Okay, I didn't realize. Are you guys on Steam? You guys play on Steam?
Oh yeah, all the time.
We need to exchange that information because I actually prefer watching people play from my Steam. I'll literally full screen that and just lay in my bed and watch somebody play.
Oh, nice.
Project Zomboid or something till they're falling asleep. Let me catch this super sticker real quick. Bianca, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You did not have to do that. I really appreciate that. It'll most likely be coming right back to you for voice acting. So, hey, we're just sort of exchanging dollars back and forth. I like this. I like this. Let me catch up on some of the chat here. Level of Barbie doll on the Ko-Fi. Oh yeah, I'm not familiar with Ko-Fi. I'm a Patreon guy. They were all like, "Hey, you should check out Ko-Fi or Coffee." I'm not sure I'm saying
buy
it
me
right.
a coffee or whatever. Like, whatever.
I'm not sure I'm saying it right. And I kind of looked at it and I hated to say it because it sounds so like 80s, 90s male bullshit. But I was like, it looks kind of girly. Like, I think I'm going to stick with my Patreon. Like, it's all pink and colorful and coffee's everywhere. And Harrison, oh, you know what? We've reached the 35-minute mark, and I don't want to go too far over an hour. I know you guys got a podcast coming up later, and I definitely want to be there to at least chat and hang out with you guys while that's going on. And we now have myself and Comics saying Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry. And I know for a fact she loves that game. That's not bad. It's a great action game to watch people play, and I haven't seen any recent gameplay on that in a long time. There he is. Random dude made it. Okay, what's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? I'm glad you made it, man. Okay. Harrison Gilbert.
Yes.
I guess it's time to sort of bring in. Let me get rid of this page and then find the new page. I don't know why I do the British thing. I think my neighbors probably think I'm insane because I'll literally talk on a podcast or while I'm playing a game and I've got 17 different voices I'm doing. But let me see if it'll actually let me do this. Here we go. This will kind of give you a little clue as to where I'm going with this. What I think we should work on together. You guys have may already covered it, but it's not on my channel yet.
Okay.
And it's not showing up because I need to hold on. Bear with me, guys. I'm not a StreamYard guy, so I'm still learning. And then it's not going to show up till I stop sharing and then share it again. So smooth.
Yeah, it can be annoying sometimes.
So smooth, dead guy. You got this going. It looks like it's loading now. And once it's just not letting me do it, guys.
StreamYard, what are you doing, man? StreamYard, come on.
I don't understand. Don't
be a bitch. Come on, StreamYard.
Is it because it's not full screen? I'll try one more time. If it doesn't work, then I'll just tell you, which is nowhere near as cool as what I was trying to do. But whatever. I'm not a professional. Please work. Please work. Please work. Please work. Please. Screw it. I'm done. I'm done trying. I'm done trying. All right. It's the Darth Vader Charles Soule omnibus. And I wanted to start the series really bad. Instead of tackling the entire Marvel Comics arc, which is too much for one channel to do. It really is. That's 2 years of work. I think you guys know that. That's 2 years of work. I was going to tackle this because it's kind of my favorite story crammed into one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Darth Vader run, like his omnibus and the actual Darth Vader series. I
believe so. I, not to discourage you, but yeah, I believe we did the Darth Vader series on, or at least Daniel did a long time ago. He did a smaller version of the Darth Vader series. Like he was just him and like a couple of voice actors and stuff like that. But yeah, I believe we did already do that. So I am kind of familiar with it, but I fell out of it about, I want to say, halfway through it.
Okay. Well, that's not discouraging. I'm past the discouraging phase. I really didn't even, I probably shouldn't have said that. What it did was it inspired me and showed me what was actually capable of being done. It gave me inspiration to be like, oh, my pacing is off. I need to record the audio first and edit the visuals to the audio. And I was doing it the other way around. I didn't know how animation worked back in the day. But anyway, I was kind of curious if you guys at least wanted to work on that with me for my channel. I'll do all the editing. I'll do all the hard work and all the extra voices. Obviously, I'm going to claim Vader. I can drop my pitch and voice really deep. I've kind of mimicked his voice, at least as far as James Earl Jones. I can kind of mimic his articulation, but I got the effects down pat. I was a little curious though, and I can't bring up the comic. I was going to skim over a few of them so you guys could see some characters, but it's obviously not going to let me work. And if we were on Restream, you're good, buddy. Go eat, man. That's important. And if you're going to have ice cream, do it in the shower. Ask random. It's the only way to eat ice cream is in the shower. I promise. Curl up in the corner and cry while the water's hitting you and eat that ice cream. That's my favorite hobby. That's what I do every night to alleviate pressure. Would you want to do Palpatine, Harrison? Because I
Yeah.
mean, yours is pretty much untouchable, and I can do it, but nowhere near as good as you can do it. And I think you'd be ideal. And I can't find any characters, man. I really can't. Gilbs, I can't I can't bring up the comic book reader so you guys can see it. What would you want to do? Gilbs, like what kind of character would you want to play? Because if you guys are somewhat familiar with the story, you know what I'm saying? Are you good with extras? Like that kind of thing?
I'm totally down. If you want me to be an Inquisitor, one of like the clones, anything like that, I'm down to be whatever you want me to be. Like I'm not saying I'm going to be perfect at it. I'm nowhere near the voice actor that Harrison is, but yeah, I'm down to be whatever, man.
I mean, I disagree. I've heard your voice acting. You're good. You're just as good as I am, dude. Don't sell yourself short, I promise. And I'm not even a professional. Like, I'm just sort of like, well, I'm a voice actor now. I've been doing it for a year. You can kind of claim that, but I'm still learning. You know what I mean? Like, I still have trouble articulating and then learning styles. I'm sure Harrison knows that too. You can't walk into an audio comic and scream into your microphone when somebody's screaming. And some things, like I'm working on Stephen King's The Stand. And that's a solo project. It's such a personal thing. It means so much to me. I'm never going to invite anybody else to work on that with me. And I approach that completely different. It's kind of an ASMR. I read a lot quieter. I don't ever raise my voice unless absolutely necessary. And there's a lot of narration reading because it's Stephen King. So I approach that completely different. Light sound effects, light ambience, keep it quiet and kind of ASMR versus the aliens. I mean, you can't not scream doing aliens. I mean, even though in space no one can hear you scream, the whole point is there's lots of screaming in aliens. So yeah, well, that's cool. That's kind of what I wanted to approach you guys with. And I know you guys are busy, Gilbert, but now that I know you're an editor, I'm going to probably be talking to you and willing to, if you had time, throw money at you and commission you to help me because I'm having so much trouble doing this on my own and keeping up with the algorithm. I get behind. And then it's like, man, 3 weeks go by and I haven't put anything out. And then I'll sit down. What software do you use? What do you guys use as far as like, we'll do with Gilbert and then Harrison. What do you guys use as far as your audio stuff? Just to let some of these people out here know if they're wanting to get into this stuff, what they want to do, how to start.
Oh, you there, Gilbs?
Oh, I think his AI system.
Am I back?
There. Yeah, he's back.
Yeah,
okay.
There we go.
Okay, so yeah, it's my understanding that as far as like the standard as far as audio recording, and I mean there are a bunch of different like programs, but if you just want to get started and you don't have a lot of money to spend on some fancy program, Audacity. You can download it. It's free.
Yes,
and it's easy to learn, easy to work with, and yeah, it doesn't have all the fancy like crazy stuff you can do with your voice. Like it has basic tools, like basic like pitch lowering, pitch higher. You know, you can add some like bass to it. You can like it's like I said, it's the easy basic thing you can do if you want to have like if you're on a budget and you're just starting out as a voice actor. As far as as far as microphones, I mean, you can work with a cheap one, but I mean, I have a Yeti Blue or a blue Yeti mic. Yeah, I have a blue Yeti mic. So that's just it's about like $80. So it's a little expensive, but it's not too. It's not some of those ones I can see like there's like $300 mics that I've seen people use. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm sitting on right now. Is I got drop some money on this one because I mean, in order to move forward, you don't want to start with the most expensive stuff out there. Obviously, that's not because you don't know if you're even going to enjoy what you're doing.
Exactly.
But if you do want to sell your voice and you do want to make it sound good, you are going to have to drop a little bit of money. I know that myself and Comics uses the Snowball. I think it's the Logitech Snowball, and that's a great budget mic. Like her audio sounds fantastic, and plus it could be sound reduction. Like I don't know if you guys have the screens you can put around your mic that sort of work like a sound reduction screen. I got that working right now. Yeah, I got both of those. So it actually really helps improve the sound, and you can make a pop filter out of pantyhose and a coat hanger. So you're good with that. Harrison, I know your brand because I'm a musician, and I noticed by cutting out your picture to put it on the thumbnail because I suck at that kind of stuff that you work with Shure. But I'm curious, like that mic is really good, man. So I mean, why don't you talk us through a little bit of your audio setup and what you use to record, unless you're also an Audacity guy.
I am also an Audacity guy. Yeah, I really like credit it as being a great bit of software. Like for free, it's fantastic, and the fact that it's free and loads of people use it means that you can go on YouTube and find so many tutorials on how to do something. It makes it great. So a lot of like I put some voice effects on my my audiobooks, and the way I do that is I go basically I just go looking for someone on YouTube who's done something similar. So a lot of them I'm just like, right, let's find someone's how to do a Darth Vader voice effect, and then something will pop up. Those I've
Really?
done. Yeah, and I'll just go see it, and then people go, "All right, cool." Like, and they'll they'll tell you settings, they'll tell you sort of like like which effects to use and what parameters to set it at, and then Audacity allows you to make macros. So that's one thing as well. Like for my audiobooks, I try and make everything as easy for me as possible. So all my effects are set up as macros. So because a lot of the time, like say if you go listen to Allegiance, I've got that's probably one of my more effects heavy books, and I've got like an effect for people who are in a helmet and there's kind of their voice is kind of coming out of a speaker. So I've got a thing
Yeah.
there where it does a bit of EQ difference to try and take away the bass and the treble and just leave the mids, and then also
Yeah.
some distortion on there. And I put those into a macro. I named it speaker voice, and then I just click on that for all of them, and that's them all done.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
I do that, and then yeah, this is fairly new to me. I got this a month or two ago. My Shure MV7, I think this one is. It's real nice.
Yes.
So one of my favorite things about this is that it allows you to record in not very well sound treated rooms, but you can still get a much better sound. So previously I was working on an SE A1X or an X1A. I can't remember quite how it was called. It's a good microphone. Microphone cost about would cost £80 when I bought it.
Okay.
But it does pick up a lot of room sound. And the way I used to record was there was a cupboard in my home that I like put stuff all around, so sleeping bags and like a folding mattress and stuff around to sort of deaden all the sound in that little space. And that meant I got quite good results with a mic that wouldn't do it all for me, but this mic here basically does the job for me. So, it just really improves the sound. And then it's been nice for me because I was killing my back sitting in this thing. And like now I can sit at my desk and record. I'll admit, like sometimes the audio, like if you're a real audiophile, like you'll probably go, "Hey, I can hear the room there," or like I can maybe hear something outside. But I'm like, part of what I do with those is this is mostly just for me, but I just don't worry as much. When I first was starting out in voice acting, I was really worried about like, oh man, like is the audio I'm giving good enough? And I used to do things where I would submit lines to people and I would go and cut out every breath that was in it.
Oh man,
Um,
I know exactly where that's going. I had to do the same thing. Or you got like you're too close to your PC and you can hear the fan running and you got to cut that out like or in a small noise gate. I'm not sure. I don't use Audacity, but I know myself and Comics does, and several other voice actors use Audacity. So when they would send me these files, I would get accidental Audacity files. So I'd be like, "What is this? It's not letting me open it with anything I'm using." I use FL Studio, like I'm a musician, so I use FL Studio and Reason. But I noticed with Harrison, you were a musician for a while, so you walked into this with a bit more knowledge than your general streamer who's just trying to get started. You know what good mics brands are. You kind of know what good sounds like. So you approach it differently. Like you come into it like, I know that I'm going to go with this mic.
I don't know, I'm a singer, like, so I'm the guy who doesn't know anything. Like, I turn up and I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, buddy. It's one of the sad things because, like, I play my guitar. I know enough to be able to play along and sing with, and people will be like, all right, cool, dude. So do you want to jam out with us? We're in B. I'm like, what?
Oh, it's a B.
What does that mean? Like, yeah, and so I'm like, what are the chords? Is it like C, F, and G? Because I can do that.
Sorry, that's funny. What's a B? What do you? No. Myself and Comics Bianca. I don't use Audacity. I literally I load up my FL Studio and I have it rigged to where it's called Edison Recorder. It's a built-in recorder for FL Studio, and I record my lines in there. That way, I'm not transferring files and using converters, because you always lose quality when you convert or change a file over from the original recording. So I go right into FL Studio, which gives me an advantage. I've even noticed some of the effects on Audacity. They're okay, but they ain't my FL Studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want a stormtrooper voice, I can put the distortion on it. I can put all that stuff right then and there. And it's like, oh, damn.
See, that's what I mean. Is that you have like that for those kind of programs come with like dials and stuff that you can just like kind of tweak with it in the program. With Audacity, admittedly, you have to go into like, okay, go into effects, bass. Okay,
Yeah,
put that in there,
and you have to select a particular part of that wave. And then for me, it's like I can cut the waves into pieces in between each line and then load, basically change the channel it's on, put that through a mixer, and then, oh, hey, man, thank you, Anon. I really appreciate you coming by, man. I really do. Thanks for the support. Thanks for hanging out. We're about to wrap up in a little bit anyway, man. You practically made it the whole stretch. I really appreciate that.
Take it easy,
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, at least stop to say bye to
but Audacity is it's a lot more work for, like, again, like it's a fine program. It does what it needs to do, but I absolutely agree. The FL Studios are like some of those like more professional programs. They are much better.
But the downfall to that is do you have $500 sitting around to drop on a program? Like, I bought that since when I was like 20. I've been working with FL Studio and Reason since I was like 21. I'm an old guy, so I got like 25 years experience in editing and stuff. So for that, I went in with an advantage. I instantly was like, I'm not going to use anything. I know how to do this. So okay, go back and listen to C3PO. Take it apart. What are they using? Oh, they're using a little bit of a chorus, a little bit of a flange. If you double the file and slightly like by a millisecond, slide it off, and you've got that delay effect, where versus a delay would just do it automatically. So, with Audacity, it takes a lot more work to get that same effect, and you still may need a little outside help to nail what you're looking for. With FL Studio or music programs, it's literally so easy. Well, it's easy if you know what you're doing, but you know what I mean? Like, you just slap it on a mixer file, and most of these people have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm getting a little nerdy now, but yeah, you guys at least understand what I'm saying. So this is why I'm kind of looking forward to at least finding a project, settling on it, and see where it goes. Like I don't do full entire books at once. I can't. That's ridiculous. I usually split them up on the parts and then do a long play once those parts are done. You guys tend to do the same thing, I've noticed, minus the long play. Because if you Harrison, if you put your audiobooks together into one file, it'd be an 8-hour, 9-hour video. Like,
I think someone sent us a full like a full MP4 or an MP3 of the 12-hour video, or a 12-hour, like they edited together the entirety of the Mandalorian armor into a 12-hour audio file, and I tried uploading it to YouTube, and it just didn't. It's like, nope.
It breaks your computer. Like, I mean, it'll be like uploading and checking and then processing for like days. I do DJ mixes on my channel now, which I'm trying to slowly merge that to the music channel, so it's not such a clusterfuck on my channel. Like, it's a mess. People go there and it's like, well, it says Dead Guy Productions. It doesn't say Audio Comics. I do all kinds of stuff, but trying to just trim it down to like you guys, where it's just gaming and then audiobooks and audio comics. That's good enough. No music videos. I'm merging that, but I do a lot of DJ mixes and stuff, and I've noticed that, man, some of those can go over an hour and a half, but I'm at 1080 or 4K on these videos, and it takes 9 hours to upload, where I'm just like, oh my God. Well, it'll be out tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. The internet keeps working, maybe. I guess we should start working on the wrap up. So if you guys want to tell anybody anything out there, if you guys want to plug anything, now is your chance. Please plug away, guys. Plug away.
Yeah. So guys, we are going to be going live to do our own podcast in about 2 hours. So we're going to be talking about Star Wars Visions, talking about those fantastic shorts there. I have been super impressed by them. Visions are some of my favorite Star Wars stuff that have come out, certainly on Disney Plus.
So
like, I love it. And what I was watching today, and I was like, man, the stories they fit into 10 minutes, like, sometimes hit much harder than an entire season, and I really enjoyed Andor, but I'm like, man, like, these little like 10-minute animations get me like to the feelings of Andor faster than that show did.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of.
That's
I'll be
nice.
admit, I'm kind of easy. I think I'm like really easy to like. I will like. Yeah, I think there's that phrase like suspension of disbelief or whatever it is. I will get into a story like so easily. But like the two stop motion ones, both of them were like great for me. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna go talk about those. So if you've seen them, if you want to discuss them with anybody, or you just kind of want to get a feel of like if it's worth it, come and hang out with us. We probably will do some spoilers. I'm afraid,
it'll be a little spoilery, but we'll try to keep it to a minimum because I know that a lot. I've heard from people in my normal life who watch the show. They're just like, dude, you need to stop spoiling the crap out of these shows like 3 days after they come out.
I've learned to avoid, and it's hard to like with you guys. I want to support, like I like hanging out with you guys. So when I'm gonna catch up with your Mandalorians just because I want to see what you guys took from what I've already watched. But I'm sitting on that season finale, guys. I've had it for days, and I'm just like, I don't want to watch it because that's it, And I loved the series. Like I'm that guy that walked in like, what are you gonna complain about? It wasn't 10 episodes. That's about it. Like, I mean, I kind of I'm like Harrison. I take it. I'm very empathetic. So I drop into a movie or a show and I instantly empathize with the main character or the perspective they're trying to give you and just sink into it. So I'm going to be there. I pinned the link to your guys' podcast in the chat. You guys click that and hit notify me or notifications on for it. And I will be there for sure. And I'm sure some of us will be more than happy to hang out with you guys while you're doing that. Gilbert, what do you got coming up?
So me personally, yeah, like so my gameplay footage or my gameplay videos, I'm probably gonna be doing either Devil May Cry or like I said, Darkest Dungeon next.
Okay.
Like, if I find something else that just like piques my interest, or I'm like, oh hey, Jedi Survivor, let me go pop into that. Like maybe I'll do something else like that, but probably one of those two because I know a lot of people seem to like those kind of like long, kind of slow burn games that we can kind of just chill and do and like mess around while I freak out at the gameplay. It's like, oh damn it, it's freaking zombies.
Well, I mean, I've noticed, man, you played Resident Evil 4 and I avoided it because I don't have the remake yet. And I'm like, God damn it. I don't want to watch anybody else play it because I don't want to see what they changed, other than what I played in the demo. But I couldn't resist. Like just hanging out there, I was like, this game is fucking beautiful. Like I can stare at this all day. And I've noticed that you like to play a lot of the same games, but it's with Harrison when you played that it wasn't the Angry Game Nerd, right? Am I right? That guy helped produce that game?
It was Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation.
Zero Punctuation, you're right. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I got him confused. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, he is an angry video game nerd, so like, it's easy to get confused.
Quite, but he's funnier, and he doesn't seem to ruin the reputation of games that I actually like. But just for humor's sake, his editing's fantastic. But I had no idea until you said that, and then I was like, dude, I gotta check this game out. I think it's on Steam. I think I found it and added it to my wish list, and we definitely need to exchange Steam information because I'm trying to rack up my friends. Seems like we all enjoy a lot of the same games. My vote's for Devil May Cry as well. I haven't seen past 3. I haven't touched them.
Okay.
So watching you go through them would be
because Devil May Cry's 1 through 3 don't work on my OBS, so it's probably gonna be 4 and on.
Oh, Peaky dropped a message in the Discord for me to see after the stream. Well, thank you, Peaky. I love messages in my Discord. Slide up in my DMs, baby. Guys, I want to let you know right now, I appreciate you hanging out with me and answering my questions and letting me like work off this caffeine high with you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm sure there's things I forgot, but I would love to have you guys back on individually if possible. Coffee and Cigarettes is usually me playing a game, and then I have guests on with me, like a main guest, and then I put a call-in number where other guests can just call in and chill. You guys can talk to each other while I'm playing a game. Lately, it's been Project Zomboid, and that is not a hangout with people and play a game. That is I'm screaming into the mic and going, oh my God, and like freaking out and dying while everybody's laughing at me. It's a masochistic game. But I've been doing like Slay the Spire and other games that are like turn-based.
Oh, Slay the Spire is great.
Thank you. Yes. I hadn't played it in years.
Really good.
So I
It's a great
obviously
deck builder.
fumbled through the first stream, but then I was doing the silent and then I went and played. But now there's a new character I haven't even seen yet. So I'm like,
Oh.
so basically, if you guys are wanting to come back, I know Gilbert has made it to quite a few coffee and cigarette streams just to pop in and say hi. He's kind of familiar with the concept. This particular one, I'm slowly starting to merge it with the old podcast I was doing. I felt like you guys needed focus. I really wanted to focus on you guys. If I was playing a game in the background, I'd be like, hold on. What card am I picking? So I'm probably gonna up starting XCOM at some point too, which I think would be another background game while we prepare. So I think we all have a lot in common. So I'll try to keep in touch with you guys on the Discord and we'll work this stuff out.
I might have to install XCOM now.
Dude,
if you guys put XCOM in, we will do some multiplayer. I have not done that at all.
Yeah, Harrison, you doing a game stream of playing some XCOM campaign would be awesome.
Dude, yes.
I absolutely love it. Especially there was that like expansion they did for XCOM Enemy Unknown, where like you get like weird robot suits and things. It was
that was XCOM 2. Yeah, they did that in XCOM 2. Yeah,
XCOM 2, yes.
The mech suits and stuff. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you start with XCOM, then work your way up to XCOM 2, which is the hardest game ever fucking made by anybody.
That took me months to actually like even get close to and I had to like save save spam everywhere every single minute. Like otherwise
the load times on that game.
Yeah.
Just terrible. That's the only problem I have with XCOM 2 is I enjoy the game, but yeah, I'm save scumming because I've got a favorite and I don't want my favorite to die.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't get attached to any of your players and don't name them after yourself. Because obviously you're gonna be like, don't let that guy die. Don't let that guy die. Well, if you name it a dead guy, he's obviously gonna die.
Yeah, no, I did that, and the only one who actually survived the whole way was Harrison.
And that's another thing that I've been thinking is games like this when we do start streaming them. Now that I actually have a decent, thanks to Albus, I have almost 40 members for a channel that's this small. Makes absolutely no sense, but I love the guy for it. Start picking the members that are always in my streams and naming all the characters after them. And my next Zomboid play is going to be Albus. He's just so secretive. I don't know anything about him. So creating his stats, I have to just randomize it. But playing through, he's got that chicken persona. So I downloaded a mod where I can build a chicken helmet and literally have him run around with his chicken head. I can't wait to actually dig into that. Later tonight after your guys' podcast, I will be doing for the Horde anyway. I will be starting the Resident Evil remake series with 1. And I'm really excited. I haven't touched those, and by the time I get done with 3, I will have purchased 4. So I just want to close that up. I think it's a good brand for the channel. Dead guy, zombies, all this stuff. By the way, Gilbert, I see the N7 tapestry flag behind you. That is fucking fantastic, man. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. Anyway, guys, I could do this all day, and then now that we should have brought this up before because we could probably talk games forever. But if you guys want to come back in like a couple of weeks or a few weeks when you have time, we'll talk about it. We will talk games. We'll just make that the theme. We'll talk about our favorite games and maybe talk about going through them and possible plays and all that kind of stuff. What do you guys think?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so down for that.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. I really appreciate it. You got another sub, and she's a great supporter, I promise. She's a great supporter. I will try to hook you guys up as far as voice acting as well. She's very talented. She had only done a couple things when I first met her, and now she's like my main. When I need a female, I go to her. Like, hey, here's $20. Will you read this for me? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. She's fantastic. She's tight. She's efficient. She'll send you the entire file. So you'll hear her mess up a word and then start giggling and laughing in between. So you're instantly like laughing, like, yeah. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap up, guys. These guys got stuff to do. I got stuff to do, but I appreciate you all being here. Albus, I know you're probably in the shower eating ice cream, but thank you for the gifted memberships. Thank you guys for hanging out. I will catch up with you guys on the Discord. Harrison, Gilbert, take it easy, guys.
Yeah, you too. Take it easy, dead guy, and take it easy, chat. It's been fun being in here.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good one.